Really seek out what the Lord has to say regarding your business, because I would bet He does have something to say. Hey folks, Randy here with Dulin Cut Trim. So over the winter, I was doing the regular maintenance on the mowers, and I noticed that on my 52-inch, it almost seemed like the engine had too much compression. When you went to start it for the first time, it would start to. It was just really difficult to get that first pull going, and then after you got that, it usually would be fine. Well, this time I went to make that first pull, and not sure exactly what happened, but basically I went from probably too much compression to no compression at all. I took it apart thinking maybe it was a head gasket. The valves use non-adjustable hydraulic lifters, so I didn't think it was an issue with, the valves weren't out of adjustment. They either need to be replaced or... but I tried replacing the head gasket because it was damaged. I cleaned the carbon off the heads, reinstalled everything, no compression. So I think it might need a valve job. But the truth is, the engine on that machine was 22 years old. And so I got it in my mind that I should just replace the engine. The whole frame of that mower is in perfect condition, even the deck. And all the pulleys are good on it. The transmission just got replaced. But the clutch was starting to go, so I was looking at potentially $800 to get this mower back on the road. So I thought, if I'm going to spend that much money to get a 22-year-old engine working again, I might as well just buy a brand new engine. Put a Briggs on there with more horsepower, and get a clutch that'll match up with that. This was in February. I was right at the point where I was ready to pull the trigger. I was going to drive up to Jack's Small Engines, pick up the engine for the mower. I was going to take the measurements I needed to send to the clutch folks so that they could do a custom clutch for me. I was praying. I try and be as spirit-led in my business as I can. I'm not the most spiritual person, but I try. And I felt like God was impressing on me that I shouldn't do this, that I shouldn't replace that engine, that I should instead make sure all my other equipment was good to go. And, that bothered me, but, I've learned to follow what I believe is the voice of God in my life, and so I decided I would acknowledge that and go along with what I felt the Lord was telling me to do. Looking over my properties, the truth was I only really needed a 52-inch mower on I believe it was seven of the commercial properties. There's 7 specific properties where having a 52-inch over a 36 makes a huge difference. And so I was like, well, it's going to be a little frustrating with those properties, but it is what it is. So I went ahead, I got the 36-inch all ready to go for the season. Upgraded the 21-inch. I had been using a 21-inch push mower. Upgraded that to actually took a old Craftsman mower with a deck I really liked and a self-propel system I liked, and repowered it with a Predator engine. And got that all taken care of, and realized if I just had these 2 mowers, I could just run a setup with just using my truck, which is something I really prefer to do. But in the back of my head, you just keep thinking like, man, I really wish that I was running this 52-inch, not the, I just wish I was, because when you're running a bigger mower, even if it's not necessarily faster, it feels faster. So I sent out my contracts about a month ago, started sending them out, and I've been getting responses. And man, I'm glad I listened, because of those 7 properties where I needed a 52 inch. 6 of them I've declined to renew the contracts for this year. So I guess the moral of the story for me is basically God was letting me know you don't need that big mower right now, so don't worry about it. I guess I just wanted to pass that on to you guys. For you guys that pray, really seek out what the Lord has to say regarding your business, because I would bet He does have something to say. In my case, it saved me a whole bunch of money. So I just wanted to pass that story on. Hopefully it helps somebody. Good luck this year.